Glad you guys are here exploring dynamic aviation with Harrisonburg Rockingham Works event. And we have today Ms. Heather Kirkland, who is going to be facilitating this session. Heather?
Great. Thank you so much for your kind introduction. As he said, my name is Heather Kirkland, and I am a school counseling intern at J. Freight Hilliard Middle School, and I'm honored to introduce to you our two guests today. Today we have two amazing women, Ms. Kelsey Ray and Ms. Heather Lamb from Dynamic Aviation here to talk about all things aviation. Ms. Kelsey Ray is the corporate HR recruiter for Dynamic Aviation. Ms. Ray interviews and hires positions for non-A&P mechanics, ARFF firefighters, accountants, and other similar job openings. She recently graduated from Liberty University with a major in human resources management and a minor in psychology. An interesting fact about Ms. Ray is that before she was hired at Dynamic Aviation, she had little to no experience with aircrafts or an aviation company. However, accepting a job at Dynamic Aviation and being a part of their community has been one of the best decisions she has made thus far. And Ms. Heather Lamb is the technical operations recruiter for Dynamic Aviation. She is responsible for hiring all mechanics, technicians, and all support staff for the technical operations department. Ms. Lamb is a business professional with 12 years of sales and marketing experience and 4 years of recruiting. She enjoys recruiting because it's a great combination of the thrill associated with making a sale, but also has the opportunity to help people and change their lives for the better. Ms. Lamb has not been exposed to the aviation world prior to Dynamic Aviation, but she has found it interesting learning that there are other opportunities outside of the airlines and helping the company grow. In her free time, she enjoys hanging with her two boys and husband, doing various outdoor activities. We welcome you both and stay tuned. We have a video right here, right now to watch about all things dynamic aviation.
Hi everybody, my name is Clay King. I'm a mission integration technician at Dynamic Aviation and also a Liberty University alumni. Let me tell you a little bit about what I like about my job. First of all, I get to work directly with the customer by installing their equipment, and I get to see Dynamic Aviation's mission in action. Second thing is the environment here. It's very fluid, everybody is very helpful and friendly, and it's very family oriented. Last thing is, every time I come in, the work is never the same on a day-to-day basis. It creates a unique challenge every day. Currently, Dynamic Aviation is looking for mechanically inclined people to be hired on the shop floor. If you have an A&P, that's great, and the more experience, the better. Let me tell you about a few reasons you should come work with me at Dynamic Aviation. We operate and maintain many aircraft that help out with scientific research, protecting people around the globe, and advancements in aviation technology. For example, this aircraft that I'm sitting on right here is being operated by NASA to collect data on the Mississippi River Delta. Another example of some of the cool projects we get to work on here at Dynamic are projects like NASA's AVERIST project, which is an infrared imaging spectrometer. This sensor could fly over a highway and tell you what percentage of the ground is asphalt, concrete, motor oil dripped by cars, or even animal droppings. There's so many wonderful opportunities here at Dynamic, whether that's traveling to exotic places, working with people who become like family, or since we do all our production in-house, if you're interested in welding, composites, sheet metal, or regular shop maintenance, there's a place for you here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.
I'm Hannah Smith. I am from North Dallas, and I attend LaTourneau University. I'm pursuing a degree in aviation maintenance.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want to do any flying too, or just the maintenance side?
I actually am a pilot. I have my
awesome.
private pilot license right now.
Oh, nice.
I got that through LaTourneau.
Oh, that's great. What first started you with getting interested in aviation?
My grandfather's actually one is an engineer and one is a pilot, and they have just always been working on aviation. And so I got that from pretty young, but I actually dove into it for myself when I got into high school and started taking dual credit courses in LeTourneau.
Oh, okay. So those high school courses that counted towards LeTourneau.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, awesome. I didn't know that existed. It's good to know. While you're here this summer, do you know what you're going to be working on?
So far, I've been working on the DC-3. We just polished that for
All right.
the 4th of July flyover.
Awesome.
I've also been cleaning some parts for the Constellation and helping out with some of the other aircraft like the Howard and the VH-18.
Yeah, I saw when I first came in, you were working on the VH-18. That's awesome.
That was fun. Yeah, helping Gabe time the engine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good experience to have, and I'm sure with going to school, you'll learn even more things, but having this during the summertime will reinforce that, and we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, today I'm talking to another one of the great mechanics that work on this beautiful airplane. Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Joe Matlenko, and I've been working in dynamic aviation for 2.5 years now. Mostly I work on the sheet metal department for this airplane, and we look over the structure of the airplane to make sure that everything is fine.
Excellent. So with an airplane that's been sitting in the desert for a while, I'm sure you guys have quite a bit of work to do, huh?
Absolutely. There are many areas where we need to clean up the corrosion. There are parts that we need to replace and repairs that we need to make, and we look over everything to make sure that everything is well so the airplane will be safe to fly again.
Excellent. And where did you get all your aviation background? Was it locally here, or where was it?
I went through the aviation maintenance technician course through Blue Ridge Community College, where they teach you a basic understanding of everything there is for an aircraft mechanic to do, from the propeller to the nose tail.
Oh, that's awesome. So we've got a lot of people that come from that school, and they come out and they're good mechanics, and we really like having you guys in here, and you're doing a fantastic job with this old airplane.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much again, Miss Ray and Miss Lamb, for joining us today. Feel free, as Mr. Marsh said, to add those questions, students, so that we can get all the great information that you would like answered. Welcome, ladies. Glad to have you. I have a question for you both. What does a typical work day look like for you?
Do you want to answer that, Heather? Sure. So a typical work day for me as a recruiter is varies, really. I try to build out my schedule to incorporate numerous interviews throughout the day. We do, here at Dynamic, we do Teams, Microsoft Teams calls, so it's a virtual interview, typically lasting 30 minutes to an hour, where I get with the hiring manager and ask questions to the candidates that are related to the job that they have applied for. I also source candidates from various websites, as well as our internal website, our Dayforce, which is where you would go into our website and apply through. So I would look through all those applications, weed them out, or send them to the hiring manager, set up interviews, things like that. That's the day in the life of a recruiter. Yeah. I respond that way as well. Among that, we also have several different departments on staff and on site. So in the daily life of a recruiter, you're constantly talking to those hiring managers and connecting with them, as well as looking for other candidates on Indeed, LinkedIn, and different stuff like that.
Great. Thank you for that information. Very important. So here's the question. What are you looking for in a person when you are hiring them or recruiting them to work at Dynamic Aviation?
Yeah, of course. So definitely looking for that well-rounded person. We definitely compare their resume to our job description that we have online to see if they have those requirements, graduated or have a GED, have just that almost jump off the page type of resume there. Do you have anything to add, Heather? We also look for people that are going to fit into our culture. We're very family oriented here, and both for the person. We care about the person and their family to make sure that they're taking care of their obligations, as well as here at the company, we are all like one big family. So we all work together, we all care about each other, and we just look at upholding integrity and excellence throughout our life.
Great, great. That's great to know that there are companies out there that value one another, that you work together as a team, and that you're like a family. And so that is very important. Another question that came in is, are there any opportunities for high school students at Dynamic Aviation?
Yes and no. So we have a couple of different programs in place that allow for sometimes high school students to come and intern with us for the summer. Depending on what their interest is. You do have to be 18 years old or older, so that's kind of where the caveat is. We have a couple of programs through some of the technical schools in the area as well, so if you're taking like a technical welding program specifically, we have had high school students come in and work part-time in our different shops through those programs as well.
Great, great. That's good to know. We have many high school students that are tuned in today, some 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders. What advice or wisdom could you share about what they could be doing now to prepare for the field of aviation?
That's a good question, Heather. So aviation in this area is limited. So if they have interest in it, then having that, I guess, mechanical aptitude, if you're looking to be a mechanic, is good. So any hobbies that you might have to where you're like taking things apart, putting them back together, working on the cars with your parents, or just refurbishing or renovating a car or a vehicle in general, or just learning the ins and outs of that. That goes a long way as a mechanic. And then, or if you're interested in more like administrative type things, actually being up and knowledgeable about the different softwares and have it like typing fast on the computer and how to properly communicate via email or have interactions with other departments, like in-person interaction is really big as well. Kelsey, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, just to add, definitely getting that experience in. I know Legacy, where we do most of our internships, they're really looking for that mechanical background. So if you're modifying a car, if you're troubleshooting the different electrical parts of that, that's what our hiring managers are really looking for. Even in the administrative job, if you have that experience in Excel, and we use Microsoft a lot, Microsoft Suite. So just, getting every experience that you possibly can to just build up that resume.
Great, great. Thank you for that clear explanation. I know that was a loaded question, but it helps us to paint a picture that how dynamic aviation is just very multifaceted, and it's neat to hear all the different details that go along with everything. And also, as a high schooler, sometimes we think, oh, what am I going to use this for? What am I going to use this class for? And so you ladies did a wonderful job of explaining that to us. So what is the starting pay at Dynamic Aviation?
It really just all depends on the job, but the entry level pay is around $14, pretty across the board for administrative or mechanic pay, and then it goes up from there based on experience.
Great, great. So what you're saying is that there's room to kind of climb up the ladder with the more experience and maybe more education that you have. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, great. So what other careers are there at Dynamic Aviation?
So there are a lot, Heather. So we actually can cover anything from office administration to finances, accounts payable. We have logistics, purchasing, firefighter type positions for aviation. It's called ARF firefighting. We have our own police force here, so you can get into security, IT, Other administrative roles like record keeping and facilities, maintaining the yard or the facility itself, mechanic, pilot, leadership roles, just really across the gamut. We have a little bit of everything.
Great. Thank you. That's exciting. So what classes do you recommend to high schoolers to take to prepare them for a career at Dynamic Aviation?
I would say that one thing that I didn't have an opportunity to take advantage of when I was in high school, showing my age a little bit, sorry, was the technical or college-based courses. If you have the opportunity to actually go and do a course study at a community college or technical school to get that hands-on experience or get those credits, I would really encourage you to do that outside of your general education, because that is going to be great on your resume, and it's going to teach you some more real-world experience than just what your high school classes could teach you.
Sure, that's great. Well, one last question for you ladies. Are there any opportunities for students under 18 for something like a job shadowing or an internship?
We have done job shadowing in the past. It really would all depend on what area they're interested in. It's a little bit more challenging for like a pilot, for instance, to have somebody shadow them, or even some of our mechanical positions, just because of all the regulations that we have to follow. But it is not completely out of the question. So I would encourage you to talk to your guidance counselor or your career services people, and they could reach out to us, and we could try to set something up if that is an interest. I know we've done it with schools in the past.
Great. Well, thank you both. You've been so gracious in the way you've answered these questions, and even with the technical difficulties, we just thank you for the gift of your presence today, and this information has been wonderful. So thank you so much. And